Welcome to Healing Stream. I am Dr. Daniel Beulah. Today, I want to share with you 5 marriage mistakes that people make. 5 marriage mistakes that people make. The first common mistake that people make in marriage is that they go into marriage without proper guardians or mentorship. They just believe that since they love the person and the person loves them, and that they can go into the marriage, and eventually they end up getting the shockers of their life when they get into marriage. It's very important to get guidance, to get somebody who is vast, who has experience, whose marriage is doing well, that can guide you. In the olden days, the family of the groom and the family of the bride usually do findings. They find out how the other family is like, their genealogy, the common sicknesses in the family, and whatever it is that might be a threat to the new home that is about to start. They make sure they make these findings. And that was why we had less marital issues, less marital troubles in the olden days. But now you see young people come together, they just meet themselves on the street, they make decisions, and they go into marriage without asking certain questions, without carrying out certain findings, which at the end of the day causes a lot of challenges in marriage. So I always encourage people, before you even decide that this is the person I want to end up with, please get guidance. Let somebody who is experienced, somebody who has a practical knowledge of marriage, whose marriage is working, somebody you can trust, that you can vow that this one, because there are a lot of people, even those who talk about marriage, people who teach about marriage, their marriages, they have issues, they have problems. And the second mistake that people make, marital mistake that people make, is that they believe that the person will change in marriage, or like marriage will change the person. Marriage will change the person. It doesn't happen that way. Marriage does not have magical powers to change anybody. Marriage doesn't have magical powers to change anyone. The way the person was before the person got married to you, there is a higher percentage likelihood that the person will still remain that way, because the kind of single person you marry will determine the kind of married man you have. So you can't get into a relationship with somebody who is abusive, even at the courtship level, and you still went ahead into marriage expecting that the person will change. It doesn't happen that way. Marriage itself does not have magical powers to change anybody. So it's important that you look at the person, you check the person, you test if you want, and ask questions, carry out findings, be truthful and practical to yourself. I believe one of the things that really block people's thinking ability when it comes to making the final decision as to who to marry is sexual intercourse. Immediately intercourse takes place, it's a covenant. The intercourse between a man and a woman is a covenant. You've already covenanted with that person. Sometimes I get so surprised when there are obvious reasons why a lady should terminate a relationship, but she still goes ahead, still forge ahead with that relationship, and ended up marrying the person. I heard a story of a man a guy that was always beating the girlfriend, and on like that. They would fight, and all of a sudden they said they won't do again. And before you know it, they are back again together. That's the power of sex. That's the power of sex. So when we advocate for abstinence before marriage, it's not just obeying the law of scriptures. It's also helping you to use that courtship period to think through, is this the person for me without anything influencing it. Sex is powerful enough to influence your decision. It's powerful enough to influence your decision. Once you get attached to that person sexually, a covenant has been initiated between you and that person. Therefore, it will be difficult for you to break it by disconnecting from that person. So when you see even when you see obvious reasons why the relationship should end, you still cannot come to terms with it. I am not saying that every bad marriage is as a result of sex before marriage. I am only citing this as an example that sex can have a way of influencing someone not to make a definite decision to end a harmful relationship. But if you abstain, if the relationship is without intercourse, it is easier to decide whether to go ahead or not at any point in that relationship. Very easy, without feeling bad. That you get to know that marriage does not change people. Going to the altar and saying, yes, I do, will not change the person. So shine your eyes. There is no need to be in a hurry. There is no need to be in a hurry. There is no need to be desperate. Some people feel, if I miss this man, I won't find another person. If I miss this woman, I won't get another person. But it doesn't work that way. In case you don't know, their husbands, if, for example, I am in the city of Calabar, their husbands in the city of Calabar. In case you don't find one in Calabar, there is a place called Onitsha. You can find a husband there. There's a place called Lagos. You can find a husband there. There's a place called New York. You can find a husband there. There are husbands in Canada. There are husbands in Australia. There are husbands in South Africa. So don't limit yourself to just one option. Mistake that people make in marriage is going into marriage with the luggage of family and friends. Luggage of family and friends. The Bible says a man will leave his father and his mother and will stick to his wife, and they will become one. You must understand that no one in this world have a covenant relationship with you except your spouse. You never entered into a covenant with your father. You never entered into a covenant with your brother or sisters. You never got into a covenant with your friends. You made a vow. You entered a covenant with your husband or your wife. Therefore, it's very important that you leave all others and cleave to your spouse. Many people put their families ahead of their spouse. Many people put their friends ahead of their spouse. You hear comments like, this my friend has always been my friend since we were children, and you can't just come up and say no and put a stop to that. No. Some people will say, no, even if you leave me, I have my family to go back to. This mentality has caused serious challenges and problems in marriage, and we have to correct that. Your spouse is the only person that you have a covenant relationship with. Please do not bring extra luggage, extra relationships into that. In other words, what I'm trying to say is, many people make the mistake of allowing family, allowing friends to interrupt, to interfere in their marital relationship. And this has caused a lot of problem. Keep people out of your marriage as much as you can. Keep family out of your marriage as much as you can. Keep your friends out of your marriage as much as you can, and you will really enjoy that relationship. Mistake that people make in marriage is that they don't prepare for marriage. People prepare for their exams, they prepare for their career, they even prepare for their wedding, but they don't prepare for their marriage. They never sat down to consider what it would take them to be good husbands, what it would take them to be good wives, what would take them to be outstanding, to be successful in their marriage, and then putting those things in place to ensure that, okay, the first 1 year of our marriage, this is what we're going to be doing. The second year of our marriage is what we're going to be doing. The third year of our marriage is what we're going to be doing. They don't cast these visions. They just feel that once they say, I do, and that's it, marriage has a way of sorting itself out. No, you have to prepare for marriage. You have to prepare for marriage. And that will give you an opportunity to be in control of the outcomes, the experiences that you have. You can't want to marry a good man and you yourself you are not good. You can't desire to marry a loving man, but you have problem with being loving. There is need for you to prepare. And finally, the last and the fifth common mistake that people make in marriage is that growth is not important in marriage. Growth is not important. You just want to marry, you marry. Growth is so important. The kind of person you end up with determines the level you are. You can't marry somebody above your level. You can't marry somebody above your level. In other words, your person, your personality, who you are, is directly proportional to who you end up with. For instance, maybe your level is a level where you have to take bus, and you desire to get married to Dangote's daughter, for instance. Dangote's daughter does not take buses. She flies. So there is no way on earth you will meet a Dangote's daughter in a bus from Onitsha to Lagos. It's impossible. There is no way that can happen. So, but as long as you remain at the level of riding on a bus, you cannot meet somebody that is flying. I'm not saying that miracles do not happen. However, miracles itself is worked out. The Bible said that he has given unto us the gift of working out miracles. Working out miracles. So miracles are worked out. I believe you get what I'm trying to say. So you want to get somebody at a particular level, you need to grow. You personally grow to that level, and people at that level connect with you. You want to get married to somebody that is enlightened, you also have to be enlightened. So while trying to get married, it's important that you pay attention to yourself, because the person you are will determine the person you end up with. Growth is important in marriage. Growth. If you have not grown to a certain level, there is no way you'll be able to get somebody at that level. So instead of trying to stretch your hand for things you cannot handle, it's important that you focus on yourself and develop yourself and grow yourself to a point, and then you see ladies, you see men at that level naturally connecting with you, and then you can make your choice. And eventually also in the marriage, it will also be easy for you to keep growing, because the more you grow as husband and wife, the more the marriage itself grows. If the individuals in the marriage advance, the marriage institution will also advance. But when they stop growing, the marriage will also stop growing, and there will be challenges and there will be problems you face with poverty, hardship, and hardship is as a result of not growing. Poverty is as a result of not growing. I've never seen someone who is consistent in growth, somebody who is consistent in self-development, struggling. It's not possible. It's not possible. So while you are planning to settle down, please know that there are over 6 million options, 6 million men that you could pick from, 6 million women that you could pick from. But the reason why you end up with the person that is harmful to you is because, number one, your level. Your level. You pick someone at your level, someone at your emotional level, someone at your physical level, someone at your financial level, someone at your spiritual level. So if you change your level, you grow above that level, you will naturally see yourself connecting with people in a higher level, and you cannot end up marrying someone you will regret when you have worked on yourself. I want to believe that these few tips helped, especially for young people that are planning to settle down, people who are in a relationship. And if you feel like asking questions, you feel like reaching out to me for more tips. There are a lot of mistakes that people make. And if you don't want to make any of these mistakes, please, the WhatsApp number is on the screen. Reach out to me. Watch this video, like it. If you have not subscribed to this channel, please do so and share the video so that it can reach a lot of people. Thank you and God bless you.